Hey everyone, good afternoon. This is Rainman from Cape Hahi, and today we're going to go through creating a blog. In this case, we're using Hubspot for one of our clients. It's a live walkthrough of what's entailed, what makes sense, where everything goes, etc., etc. So grab a pen and paper or come back to our video as needed to figure out what you need to do. So the very first thing, so this is HubSpot. For those who aren't aware, it's a marketing automation software platform, and we're going to, there's a lot of different working parts for HubSpot, but today we're just going to use the write a new blog post. So in this case, and we're going to save it in draft mode because the client still needs to approve everything. But we're going to create a post blueprint. We could create a blank post, but in this case, we're going after the visual post here. So we're going to use image elements, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to click on the visual post, and we already have all of the assets in place. We'll go through this. The client for this is Anderson and Hammock. They're a construction company out of the Duluth Superior area here in Minnesota, and they already have a platform in place, a template, if you will. So we're just going to dive right into creating the blog post. If you're creating a blog post on something like WordPress, it's a little bit different. We'll have videos for different types of platforms as we go through, but so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually create the H1 or title for this. So we're going to name this Guide to Outdoor Lighting, and we have a lot of this already in place. So as you can see up here, we have various Google documents that allow us to go in and cut and paste different information as we need it. We'll go through what those are as well. So here's their Guide to Outdoor Lighting. As you can see, the blueprint is already there, and we're just literally going to go through and highlight and delete different aspects. So let's go through and delete this very first part. HubSpot does a great job of helping to create content that makes sense. So does Marketo, so does Sharp Spring, or not so much Pardot. They kind of do, they're coming around. But in this case, HubSpot is our tool. So we're going to go ahead and delete the information that we have here, and we're going to go into our basic information here. So we're going to take our first paragraph, which is what we call our above the fold content. We're going to go ahead and copy that, and then we're going to go back to our blog post, and we are going to paste it. So here we have this. This is just what makes sense, the introduction of the article. So there's some important keynotes or keys to take away from this. The biggest thing is our keyword for this article is outdoor lighting. So everywhere you're going to see outdoor lighting. We're going to go ahead and highlight this. We're going to make it an H1 tag, or I'm sorry, an H2 tag. So here we're going to make it an H2 tag. It automatically formats everything for an H2 tag. H tags are very important. You want to make sure that you're using as many of those tags as possible. And then we are going to take this piece right here and move it down. Okay. And the reason why we're moving it down is because we want the image that we're going to put in here to be above the fold. Okay. So right here, it's very important that as we're posting imagery within any format, that we are a visual group of people, that we want to be able to see what that image is. So we're going to go ahead and replace this image. I'm going to go ahead and delete it, and then I'm going to use the tool up here to insert an image. Now the image isn't in here yet, so we're going back to our library, and we're going to upload a file. On the file, nope, this is the wrong one. This one is the right one. Let's talk about how we did what we did as far as the image that's placed, why we made it the size that we made it, and all of the other aspects of it. So we're going to go ahead. Let's see. There it is. We're going to use this image. So we're going to click on it. We have all of our image here, and we're going to go ahead and use this image. So this image, we are going to make it a large image. This image is 1024 by 512 is the area or size of the image, and the reason why it is that size is because that is the recommended format size for Twitter. So as we post everything through the different social media platforms, we already have the size for Twitter. Facebook is a little bit smaller, and we've designed this because it's 900 and something. As it gets cropped by Facebook, we're not going to lose any of the imagery here. Okay, so that's very important when you're designing your imagery. We recommend that you use Canva. Canva is a great source. They have a lot of predefined sizes for imagery for the different platforms. Use whatever you like. We tend to use Canva in conjunction with PicMonkey. That's PICMONKEY.com. Both are free services, and both have unique attributes as far as creating or different types of edits and different types of capabilities. Okay, so we've created, when we actually look at the post that we're posting, the very first step here is to create the introduction, which talks about outdoor lighting, the trends. I added a little bit of humor in there. Maybe the client will like it. Maybe they'll ask us to change it, but we're going to go ahead and create the draft and then change whatever they want to be changed later. We've created our initial imagery, which is our shared imagery, and then we have the rest of the content. And we're going to talk about call to actions. We're going to place a call to action. We're going to build out a landing page specifically for the guide, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, through this. So please, by all means, take notes if necessary. The very next section, we're going to go ahead and delete this, and we're going to pull our next section, next piece of content, which is this right here. As you can see, I'm doing everything in paragraph form, which is very important because it allows us to go paragraph by paragraph at a time. Okay, so within this piece here, I'm going to go back into our formats and our headings. Now we're going to use our headings in order. So we've already used an H1 tag or a heading 1, which is our title for the page. We've now used our H2 tag in the introduction, and we're going to use an H3 tag here. Now notice that's a little bit of a different color. That's just the style of the template that we're using, or that the client uses. And then we're going to use, let's see, an H4 tag, because now we're just posting information. So it's as easy as this. Once our information is there, it's pretty easy to use. And it's all just cut and paste. All right, so the next one is an H4 tag. Now the importance of using all of these tags is this is how you're telling Google or the search engines what your articles are about. So we want to make sure that we use each tag individually once. We never want to use it twice. This is our conclusion to the article itself, because this article is really only in place to get somebody to download the guide that we're trying to get them to download. So it's content that is luring, it's an awareness, and this talks about the company. So let's review through this. We want to make sure that we have 300 words of content so that search engines crawl everything. We want to make sure that we're using our H tags appropriately. So we have our H1 tag here, H2 tag, H3, H4, and then last but not least the H5. There are 6 possible H tags that we can use. We recommend that you use all of them. In this case, we're only using 5 of the 6, so we're giving ourselves 5 opportunities within our content to crawl for different aspects of our content. But if you have the ability to use all 6 H tags, you want to make sure that you're doing that. So the next thing is we need to create a call to action. So we're going to place a call to action button within here. So a call to action is a button that calls the consumer of the content to an action to move them or progress them through the buyer journey in order to get to the consideration phase, then the decision phase, and then the delight phase. So the 4 aspects of our funnel, our marketing funnel, are awareness, consideration, decision, and delight. What we tend to find within the industry, within the digital industry, regardless of who it is we see a lot of companies that will move directly from awareness to decision. When companies look back at their digital presence and they're wondering why they're not succeeding, why they're underperforming within their market verticals, the very first thing we generally see is that they're saying, here's a pair of shoes, go buy them. The consumer is asking themselves constantly, why should I buy your product? Or if it's a similar product that I can find elsewhere in the marketplace, why should I buy from you versus your competitor? So generally when we see a lack of capture or engagement from a company, it's generally because they're not providing the consumer enough brand trust to engage a decision based on their offering. Okay, I will say that again. When we see a lack of opportunity or a lack of capture within a marketplace, it's generally because a company is not providing enough brand trust for a consumer to choose their brand. Okay, so the very next thing that we're going to actually do before we get too far is we're going to go into our optimize tab here, because we want to make sure that we are adding outdoor lighting. So this is the keyword. Outdoor lighting. We're going to create a new keyword topic. It's going to give you all of this information, okay? It's going to allow you to fill everything out. We're going to choose our author. Our author in this case is the owner of the company. Our topic is outdoor lighting. So we're going to mimic everything as we go through. We're doing the same thing over and over again. The campaign we're going to use for this, because we have campaigns built for this client, is free guides. It's a guide to outdoor lighting. And then we're going to choose a meta description. We're going to choose this as our featured image. We're going to say this guide to outdoor lighting will give various types of outdoor lighting explanations along with best practices for creating an outstanding digital landscape. Okay, so as you can see right in here, it says, great, you're within the limit. Okay, now we don't have a period on here, right? So we're going to eliminate the word with, because we want to make sure that we're grammatically correct in our meta description. A meta description is no more than 156 characters. It's very important that we stay within those boundaries. You'll get errors if you don't stay within those boundaries. So we can see here that our errors right now, we have 0 internal links. They're saying outdoor lighting is used too much. Sorry, we're going to keep that. What they mean by this is that generally you want your keyword density to stay somewhere right around 1% of the total content that you're producing for consumption. And then there are 0 calls to action within our blog post, which we're going to go ahead and solve here in just a moment. So we're going to go ahead and save this. We're going to come back to it because it's saved as a draft, and then we are going to create a call to action button. So in this case, we're going to go, because it's HubSpot, we're going to go into our content. You can see that we have various calls to action within here, but we're going to go ahead and create a CTA, or call to action. We're going to call this download our guide. We're going to select a campaign, again, mimicking, copying everything. We're going to use this under free guides. We're going to go to our design element. We're going to choose a color. And as you can see, we have their color scheme saved here in the favorites. So we can create this. And then we're going to highlight, download our guide. Okay. So it's all right there. From an information standpoint, I made a mistake. We're going to call this outdoor lighting. All right, so we're tagging this so that we can come back if we have questions, if we have, whatever the case may be. If we have any questions regarding the CTA not working correctly, this is where we're going to come back to. Now I'm going to create the CTA or the call to action, even though this link URL is not complete yet. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because we have to build more. Okay, so we don't have this URL link because we have not created the content. What's interesting about HubSpot is if you, as an automation platform, is if you build forward, you will run into a lot of errors, right? As far as not having the information because you're linking to something that hasn't been created yet. So if you're really good at using that platform, you're going to use it backwards. So you're going to create the landing page first, or actually the thank you page first, the email second, the email notification that goes out. You're going to create the call to action third, and then you're going to create the actual post last. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to show you forward progress. Okay, so we have our CTA here. We're going to go ahead and create this. For right now, we're going to say that we want this to go to google.com, okay, because it's requiring this. HTTPS. All right, so we have it going to Google right now. We're going to come back and change that. Okay, so we have you can see our new CTA right here. It's created. It is not correct at this point, but we're going to go ahead and keep it the way it is for just right now. The very next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a landing page. In the landing pages, once they click the call to action, where do they go? All right, so we're going to create a new landing page. It's going to give us some templates to choose from. So in this case, we are going to use I'm looking for a 3-column landing page. So here it is. So we're going to create this. We're going to call this Outdoor Lighting LP for landing page, and we're going to go ahead and create that. Now, HubSpot is really good at helping you through the process. And I'm not bragging on HubSpot. There are a lot of automation software platforms out there. But, HubSpot does deserve a little bit of applause for creating templates that make the process easy. Some other examples would be SharpSpring, or SharpSpring doesn't have landing pages, but as far as automation process, there's a great company in our backyard called Lead Pages that allows you to just template after template after template, plug and play. If you want landing pages, they're a great source for it. Search out whatever works best for you. So we're going to call this guide to, we already used that title, our guide How about outdoor lighting guide? All right. Now here we have a picture. We're going to go ahead and replace that picture. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete that. We're going to come in and we're going to insert a new image. So we've already created all of these assets within Canva, sorry. We're going to upload a file from our desktop. It's this one right here, which is our ebook guide. All right, we're going to go ahead and click on this, and we're going to use that image. All right, so now we have our ebook guide here. So it plugged everything in, right? And then we're going to go ahead and take this information right here. We're going to go back to our guide. So we've created all of this stuff, okay? We've created it all ahead of time. We encourage you to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and paste this in there. Now, that doesn't look very good, right? So we're going to actually go in afterwards and create, a couple of different ideas. So actually, let's do it right now. So you will learn about, and we're going to go ahead and create a list or bullets, pendant lighting. What are some other ones that are in here? LED lighting, ambient lighting, I'll have to go through and actually see what it is. Anyways, I'll come back to this, okay? So the very last thing that we want to do is we want to actually create, and we'll have to go in here, let's see, optimize. So for this, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this here. We're going to call this outdoor lighting guide, okay? So what we've done is we've created two different word phrases. Son of a gun, outdoor lighting guide. Click on create a new keyword, okay? Now we have to create the same stuff that we did for the actual page for our landing page. So we're going to call this our outdoor lighting guide. This is our landing page for our outdoor lighting guide, which covers multiple aspects of creating an outstanding visual appeal. All right. So we are going to, as you can see, this automatically updated. So our optimize says we're green and everything. We're going to go ahead and create, our campaign going back to our free guide so that everything is tied together. We're going to go ahead and save this. For some reason, within our content, I am not seeing a download option or a form option here, okay? So we're going to need to actually fix this. Edit modules. Left column, center column, sidebar form. So we're going to, as you can see, I created a new module. Form title is outdoor. Let's see. Download our guide. All right. We're going to create a new form. So outdoor lighting form. and then we're going to create what we want to capture in order for somebody to, um, in order for somebody to, download or capture. You want to be able to capture information. This is the form. If we create a new form within HubSpot, this is what it looks like. We tend to, it's all drag and drop, WYSIWYG, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to go ahead and make this smart content. We're going to go ahead and make this required, because we require that if you want to consume our content, we are going to get your name and your email. All right. When we're looking at one of the things that we see from a lot of clients is that they want to ask for so much information just to be able to get or engage with a client or with a prospect. I would caution you that in this day and age, we can actually collect information sporadically and create the big picture by collecting a little bit of information at a time. The way we do that is through smart content, okay? So if we wanted to engage new content, or this customer comes back and we already have their information, they're not going to need to give you that information again because it's already cookied to them, et cetera, et cetera. All right. If we wanted more information, we could create smart content. We could drag a whole bunch of new information over here, phone number, et cetera, et cetera. We could go right here into fields. We could type in phone number. It'll say mobile phone. We could put all of that stuff right in here. Okay. In this case, we are not going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. We're going to remove that from our form. And we're going to go ahead and save and close this. So when they do this, we are going to redirect them to another page and, redirect to an external URL. Now that information is here, and I want to explain why we are doing this specific aspect the way we are doing it. This is a huge, huge deal. And we need more people to actually start doing this. Now, I'm going to pick on software or marketing automation platforms pretty hard for just a second. As you can see, this external URL is actually hosted here within the client's website. All right, so here's Anderson Hammock's website. And then what we've done is we've added the media within their library on their website. So here it is right here. Now, if we go back to this, we've created an external URL. We're going to test the URL, see how it popped up with the guide. Here's the guide. The reason why we host the information on their website is because we want the handshake to take place of linking back to that website to engage the content. Okay? This is very, very important that we actually do this. All right? The reason why it's important is because it's important because if you host all of the content within your marketing automation platform, you're never going to engage the links, the domain authority, the traffic, or anything, because the marketing automation company takes all of that from you. So we want to make sure that we're maintaining the rights to our content, and we're doing it in a way that makes sense. Okay? So I have all of this information filled out, and we are going to send a follow-up email. So let me look at that. We're going to select an email. We're going to add a new email. The email name is going to be Outdoor Lighting. Download. It's going to take us to, it's going to open up a new tab. And we're going to, we're going to create this. So within here, so it's automatically going to fill this out. And we're going to change this. Thank you for taking the time free outdoor lighting guide. We appreciate your using Anderson and hammock as a resource for your building needs. Please sincerely, now, we're writing this for our client, right? Um, we're going to go ahead and click on, um, subject line. Thank you for trusting us. Or thank you for trusting our content. Now, everybody that's watching this gets probably 100 to 200 emails a day per account. It's very, very important that we go through and create an engaging subject line, that we're brief to the point. We're actually going to include here the guide should have opened in a separate window or can be viewed and downloaded directly from this link. All right, so we're going to go back in here. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off task. We've already copied this. We're going to go back here. We're going to repaste this. So if for some reason they didn't see the window open, if for some reason they didn't get it, we're giving them another opportunity to go directly to the website at this point, to download it there. Let's see, our campaigns, free guide, email type. We're going to call this marketing information. All right, so we are going to go to next. Customize plain text. Nope, we don't want to do that. We're going to go ahead and publish. We're going to publish this email. All right, so now we've created an email. Now we're going to go back to here. We're going to, it says it is not published yet. So now we can actually track the analytics. Okay, so we've sent an email. We'll be able to see who's opened, whatever they've opened. We're going to actually go in and choose a different, we're going to add in logos, everything else. That's not part of this video. And this is now published. So let's go back here. We're going to save this, and then we're going to recycle, right? So now we have this. We have our settings. This is our free guides. Click on our sidebar form. Now it's showing published. Saved and go to the modules list. All right, so we've optimized it. We're green everywhere here. Now we pretty much have everything that we need at this point in order to publish everything, okay? So we're going to publish this now. now that we have this, okay, we are going to, so this is the landing page. We're going to copy this. We're going to go back to our blog. Oops, I made a mistake. We're going to go back to our calls to action area. We're going to edit this. Oops, edit. And now we're going to change this link right here so that it is updated. All right, so we're going to update the CTA. Now we're going to go back into our blog. And we're going to go find our guide. We're going to put the call to action in here. All right, so we're going to do this two different ways. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this call to action link. We're going to choose this. We're going to insert a CTA. I know I'm going quickly. Very next thing that we're going to do is we're going to center that. Oops. We're going to center this. And then directly below this, we're going to go back over here. We're going to copy this. It's very important. Oops. It's very important that we're going to create an HTML link. Okay. So I did this kind of in a lazy way. What I do is I publish it here, so I have all of the content right there at my fingertips. All right, so we have this. The text to be displayed is going to be download our then we're going to take this information. Interesting. Not exactly sure why that's not responding, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of it. So we're going to delete it out. We're going to go right into the center. All right, so we're going to go here. Then we're going to go into the center. We're going to create a link. Download. I know what it did. Our outdoor lighting guide here. We're going to do that right there. We're going to use relative link, and we're going to add a link. All right. So the reason why we did this is because if somebody opens up an email or they open up a blog post and they're not getting it in HTML, they'll still have a link in plain text version here, okay? And all of this information is above the fold, so they'll be able to find it multiple ways, okay? They'll be able to engage or consume the content in multiple ways within the post. So what's above the fold is the initial introduction, the H1 tag, and an image, and again a call to action. Now below that, right in here, we're going to add the exact same call to action again. All right, the reason being is when we choose to download content or when we choose to consume content, we need to be able to allow people to consume at their leisure, not ours. So we do not want to dictate to anybody, what we're trying to get them to do. So download our outdoor lighting guide. Done the same thing here. We're going to use a relative link and we're going to add the link. So there it is right there. Now there's one more thing that is missing within our guide, and that is internal links to other content. So let's say somebody downloads this piece of content, they want to read more. We want to give them the opportunity to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over to here. We're going to kind of cheat a little bit. It's not cheating, it's just fast tracking. We're going to go into the client's articles. See how this is right here? It has the download the guide, it has a picture image, it has all of this stuff right here within the imagery. We're going to go into read more, and as you can see right down here, we have related articles. So we're going to copy those because they're very popular. We already know they're very popular. We're going to add those right down here. Related articles. So we have a countertop comparison guide. We have, some sort of a bathroom remodel guide and choosing the right builder or remodeler. Okay, so now we have, if we go in here, we go to optimize. The only issue that we have is that our keyword outdoor lighting is mentioned more than 5 times. Okay, that is the only aspect. Everything else is SEO green lighted. Everything on every page is SEO green lighted, and we're ready to actually publish this. Okay, so at this point we could actually publish this now or schedule for later within this marketing platform, but we haven't received final approval from the client yet, so we want to make sure that we're getting final approval before publishing. We're going to go ahead and save this, and we're going to do a very, very quick review. Okay, so we have within our content, let me do this. We have our guide to outdoor lighting, that's our H1 tag. We have our H2 tag, very important. We have a brief introduction with a call to action and a text format. Excuse me. And then we have a visual asset that is in 1024 by 512. That way we can quickly publish it to whichever social media platform we choose to do so as soon as we publish it. And then we have all of the aspects of our post. Okay, so we have H3, H4, another call to action that's below the fold, and we have our 3 internal links. Notice we didn't create any external links. Here's the scoop with external links. If you want to give away your authority, by all means, reference all kinds of other people to try and boost your authority. But in this case, they are a manufacturer. They go out and they build luxury homes. They do not need to send people away or use Walmart as an example because they are the authority in this. If you are passing along what we call link juice, choose a source and choose a good source and then use that source. Okay. But in this case, we have everything there. If we click on this, so we're saved here. If we click on this, we test the link. That's automatically going to take us here. Now, the smart content, they already have all of my information, but I'm going to go ahead and finish this out and add the different types of lighting here as soon as this is done. If I submit this, it's going to open up the actual PDF, okay? So we've actually created every single aspect of this guide. So I need to add entrance lighting, pool lighting. It's a pretty cool guide. Outdoor entertainment areas, up lighting, you name it. So if you have any questions about lighting, by all means, these guys are great at what they do. All right, that's all we have. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Any comments, leave them at the bottom of our YouTube video. We don't claim to be experts at everything, but we're pretty darn good. So if you have anything you need us for, give us a call. Thanks.